Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it's the Cologne podcast. I'm Mike.
I'm Ryan, and he's vibrating.
Ooh, with excitement. Because today's episode is brought to you by a friend of the podcast named Aaron, who sent us Vintage Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme.
That's right. We're doing a little bit of a different episode today. Not going to be any one-night stand reviews or one-day flings.
Yeah, and we can't even really skip it, sample it, or buy it because you can't. Well, I guess you could like hit up eBay or like some sort of place where people share and swap and sell. But just the average Joe like us can have a hard time getting their hands on vintage Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme.
Yeah, and our boy Aaron sent it to us. He's from Shreveport, which is about an hour and 20 minutes from us.
Yeah, you're pretty close, man.
Yeah, want to come hang out?
Should we do a meetup at some point? I think that'd be fun.
God, like 2 people might show up.
Yeah, besides me and you?
It would probably just be me and you that would show up.
Yeah, that would be fun. I think that'd be a good time.
It could be cool.
Yeah, well, we're fresh off of our boys' trip.
Yeah, let's give them a little detail on that before we jump into this scent.
Okay, well.
We had a little guy's day out.
Mm-hmm. We even rented a hotel room, separate queen beds, although we slept in the same one. Not really. But first thing we did, we loaded up the car, we went, and we had Mr. Hibachi.
Oh, my God.
And we hit that double noodles, and look, they've increased the portions of noodles. The guy looked at us when we asked for double noodle, and he was like, you're not getting fried rice. We're like, no, we're getting fried rice still. Okay.
Dude, when he put the noodles were the first thing to get on the plate.
Yeah.
It literally covered the entire plate.
Oh, it was amazing.
It was scary.
We ate so much. Then we went to the spa. And we went in the saunas.
Yeah.
And we hit up the cold room.
That's pretty baller.
We were rejuvenated, got back rubs.
All right, you're glossing over the best part of the spa thing.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and tell them.
So, Mike, at the spa thing, they have a little eatery.
Like a cafeteria area.
And there was a little frozen goods section there of like treats. And I guess it's Korean food. I think it is.
I don't know.
But all to say, Mike was curiosity, got this ice cream treat.
Yeah.
And it's like an ice cream cone, but it's like sealed off and it's soft.
Yeah, it's shaped like a fish. If you've watched, the first time I saw it on a travel video on Facebook where these people go around and they try different street foods from other countries.
Yeah.
And in the video, they had like the cake cone batter.
Yeah.
And they had these metal like molds that made these cones that are shaped like fish. And they would make that and then they would fill it with soft serve and like some sort of preserves like strawberry jelly, whatever.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. And I said, man, that looks delicious because it's a giant ice cream cone full of ice cream closed off.
Yeah.
My mouth is watering right now. Anyways, they had it like prepackaged, almost like a, production volume of these.
It was delicious.
It was amazing. And I got one. Ryan had got a bottle of water and I just broke you off a little bit and you're like, whoa, that's too much. And by the end of it, you're like, hey, by the end of the day, we're going back for some more of those.
And we did.
We did. It was amazing.
God, they were ridiculous. That's like my new favorite treat. But yeah, we did that. Got massages, man. Ooh. It was freaking chill, dude.
It was chill. Then we got the pizza you all saw on Instagram.
Okay. Anybody that travels to Dallas, there's a place. It's called Cutie Pie's Pizza.
Yeah.
And we got what's on the menu. It's called the Basic Bitch, which is a cheese pizza.
Yeah.
We're proud, okay? But those garlic knots with the ricotta cheese dipping sauce.
Yeah.
Next level.
It was really good. We got that. We Grubhubbed in some not Ben and Jerry's, Baskin Robbins. Good Lord. And then the next day we got up and we went to the scent room.
Yeah, it was freaking amazing. I made myself sick there smelling everything.
Oh my God. Yeah. You were like, I don't feel good.
Yeah, I kept smelling too many ultra sweet scents.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, the scent room has, even though it was already a big deal, they have gotten a lot of different perfumers in there now.
Tons of different houses.
Byron Parfums was in there.
I try not to smell too much, but there were a couple fragrances I was really trying to go between. There was a Xerjoff that I sprayed. There was Mula Mula by Byron Parfums.
Yeah.
There was an 8 and Bob that I sprayed. And then
that one that was Kisses Rain.
Kisses Rain, by Rainier, I think is the name.
Really unique.
I was like so close to buying that one.
Yeah.
It smells so good. I sprayed it on my arm. I could smell it all day long. It was amazing. But we just bought a sample pack and left.
Yeah.
$30 because you know how we roll, guys. We don't just blind buy bottles. We got to sample them first.
Yeah, so there was our guys' trip. Now it's ended. We're back here living in hell.
So many ways. And we've got Vintage D&G that we're going to spray on.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. First of all, thank you, Aaron, for sending this so much. This means the world to us. And I think he knows how much I really enjoyed wearing D&G Pour Homme for the longest time.
Yeah.
So even in the email, he's like, I really hope Mike enjoys this. And I'm telling you right now, the thought that I even crossed your mind enough to send us part of a bottle that's going to be pretty hard to get your hands on.
Yeah.
That does mean the world to us. That's a big deal. Thank you so much, Aaron, for that.
Yep. And with
Spray it up.
I'll let you go first since it's really for you. Go ahead.
Are you serious?
Yeah, go ahead. Hit it up.
Oh, man.
Like I did something special. Aaron sent it. Skin first.
Oh, man. I can already tell a difference.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. Oh, my God. This thing's so much stronger.
Damn, I can smell it from over here.
Oh, and peppery.
Damn. There we go. Definitely loud.
Man. So here's what we're going to do. We're spraying just the vintage right now.
Yeah.
We're going to smell it and get used to it, and then we're going to spray the reformulated. Which you were saying it was reformulated in what, 2013?
Yeah, 2012 or 2013.
Is when they did a re-release of it.
Yeah.
I probably started wearing it in 2008.
Yeah. God, that smells really good.
Man.
This is my first time smelling it, I think. I really do. I know that you've had the bottle.
Yeah. I did wear it a couple times around you, but I don't think you ever sprayed it on you.
No. You ready to hit the other one?
No, I want to give this a second.
Okay, I'll just let you know.
I mean, it's similar to what I've wore this reformulated one. It's down a little bit. I know that Forbes pulled some of this for a decant.
Yeah.
But I've sprayed it a good little bit too. This was actually supposed to go to Alan.
That's right.
A winner from our 50th episode.
That's right.
But since he lived in the UK, we just sent him a gift card because it was going to be like $1 million to ship this. Like 60 or 70 mil bottle. 75 mil.
There's a little something that kind of reminds me of Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Mans.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit.
The main difference I'm noticing off this is very peppery.
Maybe that's what's tricking me in thinking that. Possibly.
In the best way.
Yeah,
it's almost like it's more woody than what I remember this bottle, which I wore like 3 days ago, smelling like.
So you can tell the difference already.
I can, big time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not as versed, so I need to do it.
All right.
I'm afraid one of them's going to wear off and I'm not going to be able to smell it right. Wow. Wow, I can't believe the difference.
Yeah.
Wow, I wonder what they cut out or changed.
So the reformulated, the first thing that kicks it out to me, isn't it more powdery smelling?
Yes. It doesn't even smell nearly as masculine as the vintage one.
No, the vintage definitely has a spicier vibe to it.
Yes.
But it's still clean smelling.
Yeah. Wow.
The reformulation, hear me say this, it's not bad, but it's pretty different.
It's not bad, but it's crazy different.
Crazy different and so much softer. And I would almost bet that this would have to be an EDT.
It is.
The vintage. Because the EDP, I think, is Intenso. I don't think they even call it Pour Homme. I think it's just Intenso. Wow. That's the EDP.
They don't even smell like the same, like they were even close to being the same fragrance to me. They smell that much different.
I can smell the DNA in it. And maybe that's because I've spent more time with it. But I definitely can smell the DNA. There's something in there, but they are quite a bit different as far as, I mean, as soon as we sprayed this one, it was loud.
Yeah.
Like immediately. And there was such a spiciness to it that just doesn't exist on the reformulation.
God, this makes me want to do it to other fragrances that I'm obsessed with.
Yeah.
Find like the old school bottles of them because this is crazy.
Which is funny because I remember one of the last episodes I was saying, like, is it to where we just can't fucking be happy now with these reformulations? People are just so convinced the old ones are better than the new ones. In this case, though, if I wore this religiously, I found other things that I really love now, but if I wore it religiously, I'd be clamoring for a vintage bottle to really step the game up.
Yeah, and then it's like, how often do you wear that?
You can't wear it often.
I know. That's sad. Man, I wonder, is it just is it like to save money? Is that why they reformulate shit?
Probably. Well, think about it too. The way they got certain raw materials has probably changed even.
I guess so, but man, the vintage smells light years better to me.
Yeah. It's definitely got a manlier vibe. It's a lot harder in that direction.
Yeah, it is. And it's
kind of a smoky old school.
It is, man. Damn, that is a badass little old school fragrance, man. Wow. Man, Aaron, that's quite a bit of juice you gave us. So.
No joke. Yeah, I swear he sent us probably like a 3 ml.
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
Decant.
I mean, I can kind of see where the DNA is now that they're drying down a bit.
Yeah.
But still, the opening of this, the vintage one, is badass.
Yeah, it is, man. That peppery, real, like, it reminds me of that dark wood type smell of some of the fragrances that we've smelled, like on Crate Noir and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow, that's badass, man.
I don't remember it being so woodsy.
It's pretty chill.
But it came out in what, 93?
94, I think.
94. And then it was 14 years later that I was wearing it. So in that 14 years, it had to have even changed quite a bit too. We don't know what year this is. Hey, Aaron, write us and let us know what year this bottle is.
Yeah, this may be 2012, and they've maybe reformulated it since then.
Yeah.
I would imagine they've had to.
I'm sure almost every year it's changed a little bit.
What's funny is on the card, I can barely smell the newer one. The vintage one I can smell. Man, that is crazy.
On the card, they're about the same to me. But the vintage definitely is more old school feeling. It definitely does feel like 90s for sure.
Yeah. Damn, that is badass. It makes me want to find some of my favorite fragrances, like find original bottles of them.
It's almost smoky on my skin.
I agree.
The thing is, I didn't know we were doing this episode today, so I've already got fragrances on. Not on my hands, but so.
He's been wearing a Nichane.
I love this one.
Mm-hmm. We haven't done an episode on it, though, yet, guys.
Yeah.
He's cheating.
I'm not cheating. I can find fragrances and like them, Ryan. Christ. Not like you, which is... You'll go in and smell all the shit you know we have decants of that we're going to do an episode on. You'll walk up to one, I was like, even at the scent room, I was like, hey, Ron, we've got a decant of that. We're going to do an episode. I'm going to spray it now.
I got a short-term memory, man. There's no way I remember it all. It was all a blur after I got out of there.
Here's an argument. Just like I kind of said, the old school D&G, it does feel old school.
Yeah.
It does kind of feel like the 90s. I'm not saying that's when this batch was from that he has, but it does feel more in that date.
Yeah.
And part of reformulation may not just be watering it down, but also modernizing it in some ways to make it fit more with people out there now.
That's a good point. Well, what's the other thing? That's the other word, masquerade or...
Oh, maturate.
Maturate?
Yeah, I know where you were headed with it. It's the opposite, Ron. They leave it alone for a while.
Yeah. But I mean, I wonder too, even if it was like a 2012, if it's had time to age, if it has a little bit more of a little kick to it because of that.
Sure, yeah.
Well...
I smell a little Louisiana spice in there.
Yeah. God damn. The old school one is way better.
It's probably more down your line.
Yes.
Every time we smell fragrances, I can tell if it's more Ryan or more me. Mine is definitely sweeter. Ryan's definitely on the spicier side.
Yeah, mine's got to have some big, juicy, meaty clackers.
Yeah. Mine has to have some big, sweet, meaty clackers.
Well, this thing is, I mean, not the vintage, but the scent itself is trending hard still.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, you can get 100 ml of it for like $45. It's super cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a good fragrance, but when you compare these two back to back, I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. I would choose the older one if I had unlimited money and access to something like that.
If you have a collection, yeah. That's one of those things where I think if we had, let's say, 50 bottles, then I'd be more tempted rather than buying, just a bottle of this to save up and buy a vintage bottle that you'd have, because you're not going to run out anytime soon.
Yeah, that's true.
In fact, when we were in the scent room the other day and I was looking at 8 and Bob, I think the 30 mil bottle, I was like, even with the small collection that I have, a 30 mil bottle would last me quite a while.
And it was like $70 or $80.
$70.
Pretty good deal.
Not bad.
And that one he tried was I think just 8 and Bob, like the main.
The original one. And I guess that was the one that JFK was wearing or whatever.
Really nice, clean scent.
Yeah, it did get a little aquatic on my skin. So I told Ryan, like for a second there, I was obsessing over it. I was like, I really think I'm going to buy this, because I was like, man, I don't have a lot of fragrances that are just clean smells.
Yeah.
I may have like Luna Rossa Carbon, which is definitely on the cleaner side. And then other than that, I've got Sauvage Elixir, but that's got something going on too that isn't just like a clean smell.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, $70, 30 mil would last me a good long while. But as soon as it hit just a twinge, it wasn't super aquatic, but it hit the twinge and I was like, no. Can't do it.
Man, speaking of that Sauvage Elixir, I went back and listened to that episode not too long ago, and just remembering kind of our first take on it.
Yeah.
That thing really did have a dry smell to it. Like, extremely dry.
It actually gets, and I've worn it quite a bit here lately.
Yeah.
Not around you, because I thought you'd burn me at the stake. But I noticed that towards the end of the dry down, which, by the way, takes forever to get to, it gets very like sandalwood-ish.
Really?
Yeah. It reminded me of like the dry down of Santal 33 a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
So I've started wearing it a little bit more. I like hold my nose and I spray it once and like run through it, But I've actually enjoyed wearing it a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it, but he literally just physically animated everything he just said. He even did the motion like he was running. A little much.
I talk with my hands, okay?
All right. Well, is it a skip it,
sample it,
or buy it?
What are you going to do, Ryan?
The old school one is definitely more in my vein. It's still probably not like 100% like a me kind of fragrance, so definitely at least a sample, but I'm like super thankful that he sent us a vintage of this. Definitely knowing that there's that much of a stark difference between the older one and the newer one. No way I wouldn't even go for the new one at all.
It's an eye-opener for me, because we did kind of take some shots at, well, I don't think you did, but I did take some shots at some of these guys that were making big deals about vintage batches of stuff.
Yeah.
And to smell this, again, we're going off a blind faith here. Aaron could be
messing with us, and it's like the latest batch.
Yeah. But there's definitely a difference in the smell. So I don't know if he ground some black pepper up in there or something, but there's a difference for sure.
It's definitely punchier. It just has a better smell to me, man. I don't know. I like it, but yeah, it's overall, I mean, other than this sample, I'd probably skip over it.
Yeah.
I mean, not the old one, the new one.
I like them. I like them both for different reasons. I think this is more, and when I say this, I'm holding the new batch, circa 2021.
Yeah.
I think this is good for a hotter day, lighter, you're going outside.
Yeah.
I think this is a nice clean smell for that. But I can see where the vintage becomes more of a spicy later in the evening sort of a vibe.
Todd may cut this out. We need to figure out, instead of skip it, sample it, buy it, especially since we're comparing the same fragrance technically, but just older versus new batch. We need to come up with a rating system, or either if the old batch still exists or still some in circulation, would it be better to buy the reformulation or save up money and just get you a nice bottle of the old stuff?
God, that seems like it's going to be so few and far between that we use that.
Well, I mean, I guess, but I mean, it is kind of a special episode too.
Yeah. You're going to smell it. You're going to sell it.
Okay. Let me just ask you, just straight up, forget about, however much it costs, unless it's ungodly. Let's just say it's almost $200 for like a smaller thing of it. But let's just say you have access to this, the vintage one or the newer one. Which one would you, if you had to pick one, which one would you pick if you could get it?
Okay, let me just understand this.
There's a gun to your head, Mike.
I mean, is it readily available or this is just a one-time purchase? What would I do? Like, are you saying one dies and the other one takes its place forever?
No, I'm saying for the time being.
For me.
No, I'm saying for the time being.
Okay.
If this is currently, there's circulation of it, there's enough out there on eBay and other sites to get your hands on vintage for right now until the supply dries up one day.
Okay.
Is it worth it to you to buy vintage over the reformulation?
Currently, yes, I would say so.
Okay. That's what I think too. Like if I had the money, because I don't know how much this costs, maybe $300 for 50 ml, who knows?
Right.
But if I had the money, I would choose, and especially if it's something you loved, like you have grown up with this, I haven't. But if you love this, I would think you'd want.
Well, yeah, especially for me, because I feel like this episode's tailored to me. Yeah. I mean, this is what started it all. But I know because I've wore the reformulation 100 times here in the last probably 4 months.
Yeah.
It burns out so quick.
Yeah.
So fast. But this, you can already tell this is hanging on. Like even on the back of our hands.
Yeah.
The vintage is a lot stronger. And for an EDT, that's kind of a big deal. So, yeah, for me, because I do have such a fondness and a history with this fragrance, yeah, I'm 100% if I was going to buy a big, juicy bottle, Ryan. I believe the vintage is BJBW.
There you go. Big, juicy, bottle worthy.
That's right.
Okay.
What was yours? Yours was the same?
Yeah, if I had to choose, the vintage is the way to go.
Funny thing is, on the card, they're more similar than on the skin to me.
Well, I was about to say on the card, the newer one has died out so quick I can barely smell anything.
Not me.
The card is still good for the vintage.
Very close on the card. The skin is where it really changes for me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the vintage is badass, man.
Yeah, it's good. They're both good. I still do like, if I were to have to go out and buy the Eau de Toilette of Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme.
You know what? Since that's your home fragrance, I'm going to find me a vintage thing of Giorgio Beverly Hills.
Oh, that one? Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to say the original Acqua di Gio.
I may have to do that one too.
I was about to say, I feel like that's more you than Beverly Hills, man.
I mean, man, my dad was throwing that Beverly Hills on me in fucking kindergarten, man. I smell like a freaking jabroni, dude.
So Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson sitting across from me right now. It's a trip, man. There are pros and cons to each.
Man, you know what? One random thought I just had because we were kind of talking about wrestling. So me and Mike's guy trip, by the way, kind of really getting off subject here. We were watching the latest WWE, whatever, NXT Nitro.
Oh my God.
It was seriously the most laborious thing I've ever witnessed. What the hell has happened to wrestling, man?
Dude, it was brutal. Some of the skits they were doing, even between matches, were taking like 10 minutes apiece.
Fucking
and I'm
long.
like, this is garbage, dude.
So long-winded, and they interact with the microphone at all times. That's another thing, like, I feel like makes it fake. But they were getting married, literally in the ring. 2 couples were getting married. Then there was, like, filing taxes and shit.
They were, like, working on creating an LLC or some dumb shit.
Fucking weird.
Like, getting the lie detector test put on them. And I feel bad because the McMahons are such a huge friends of the podcast, but...
yeah.
Not really.
Oh, God.
But we just it's like a train wreck. We just couldn't stop staring. But
we couldn't.
It was brutal, man.
It was so dumb. It took forever.
Yeah. We're just droning on and on and on. Kind of like this episode, right?
Yeah, we'll end it. We'll shut it down right now. Power vested in us.
We're just going to shut this thing down. Aaron, thank you so much for sending this. This was an amazing episode for us.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's halfway decent for you guys, but this was so much fun, especially one that means so much to me as a fragrance that I've worn quite a bit. So this was really neat. And probably this is one of the better experiences I'd say we've had with with the podcast.
Yeah.
It's such a neat thing that's going on, man. It feels really special. It's hard to communicate the gratitude that we have, but this has been really cool, and that's a heck of a sacrifice to send us this. So
thank you so much, Aaron. We appreciate it. And for everybody else, if you love today's episode, make sure to hit the fucking 5 stars on Spotify or Apple. Leave us a review. Share us.
It's already, we're seeing a huge growth. It's already working. Yes. You guys that are going out and giving us the 5-star reviews, we're seeing quite a bit of ramping up. So keep doing that. That means a lot to us, and that really does help out the podcast.
Yeah. And until next time,
spray it up, y'all.